Hello there, and good anytime zone wherever we are, whenever we are. My name is Kiray Vacuo, and I am here to teach you guys if you guys just starting up on being like a VTubers and want to be a little bit improving, or like just doing setup and you have no idea why sometimes like some of VTuber model like look a little bit stiff, they are not smooth looking enough, this and that other stuff. I will give you guys a few tips on how to make things much more smoother. Of course, there's like a shortcut way. If you guys don't want to deal with too much setting stuff, you guys can just try to get V bridges if you guys do have a decent enough computers to afford to run like multiple software at the same times. But if you can't, then yeah, this kind of like way to do it is still good. Just a little bit pale in comparison. And those people who models that are not compatible with V bridges and then they want to use it, they think like, oh, it's not compatible with V bridges, so we can't use it. Technically you can. Yes, it's technically you can. You just need to do some slight adjustment, because at the end, the transitions of how you bob your head, the speed and stuff is actually still very accurate. It might not go for like, you know, those puffy cheek, this and that, yeah, there are kind of things, but it still works. Yes. So let's move on to the the things I want to teach you guys. So here we are when it comes to this kind of things, and welcome to the Vtube Studio menu. If you guys don't know how to open this thing, it's basically just go in here, double click, and then you see the gear, go into the gear. Yeah, you guys would have like a first page greet by this thing. And then I'm going to teach you guys a few things on how to control your VTuber model or fine-tune it to help you guys like do a little bit of this and that, and a little bit of explanations on how to make it work properly. So, in order to help you guys like move properly, I need to first teach you guys how to read the things that going to be very like important. So if you guys don't know how to do it, good for you, I'm teaching you guys. If you guys already know how to do it, you guys can skip a little bit of part of forward. Just open this thing. Usually it's open actually. For organization purpose, you guys should turn off like minimize everything first and do when you need to do something, and then just open it up. This way it's much more easier for you to manage like some of the parameter and stuff. Well, how to read like most of things here. Now, you don't have to read the output. Do not touch your output. Remember, if you really want to touch, it's just the input. Input is basically like the stuff that will happen to you. Face rotation is a little bit harder to explain, so I'm just going for the eye-opening part, so you guys would able to see stuff like this. So you can kind of like see this is the left eye, but for some reason you guys can see like the input is right eye. Yes, my input for my eyes is the same eye. I choose the eye that kind of like the camera sees my eyes, and also my eye have like like one eyelid is double eyelid, one eyelid is like single eyelid, so it kind of like have a little bit different size. But plus with the camera angle, they would see like one of my eyes a little bit way too small. So depends on your camera angle, and also your eye conditions, and also you wearing glasses or not. That is like the coming factor. Do you want to link both of your eyes together with one eye, or just have two individual eye and then blink individually so you can wink and stuff? Those kind of things. A very well-made model might not have too much issues, but usually much more like affordable model, they would have some issue when it comes to like eye stuff. So it's best for you guys to like have like this kind of like thing happen like in here, the kind of setting. I have a much more like tamer sensitive setting is because of my eye issues. I'm also using V bridges to like do all this kind of things. So the eyes in V bridges are like slightly more different. I can change this thing to 6 actually if I really want like a better like eye opening thing. You guys would notice like I changed like some of the stuff here. Things would like have a little bit change and this and that, get the other stuff. But yeah, generally most of the stuff is like this. And let's get started on how to read the parameter things in here. This is input, this is output. Very self-explanatory. But when you see this thing, you see when I blink, this thing like going up and down is because like it's actively scanning how big my eyes is and how close my eyes is. That is basically just how the camera works. And if you guys want to like fine tune your eyes, go for when your eyes, how much eyes you open right now by your default eye openers, and then that openness, and then you bump up a 0.1 into it. You can see like my eyes maximum right now, I just open it normally, is 0.5. So I put it 0.6 or 0.55, depends on how sensitive you want your eye to be in this range. Or you can just open your eyes as wide as possible, and then you'll see like how much sensitiveness like it increased. So this is like how the camera will perceive like how your eyes work. So you open up your eye on max and then have your eyes on default. You would generally adjust around that range. I have this like very weird input range because again I'm using V bridges. The eyes on media pipe on V bridges is not really that like well made. And again, my model is not built for V bridges. I just find a way to fine tune it until it works because I really like how the head bob movement. Aside from that, you guys already know that just adjust like according like how your eyes is going to work. And then if you guys want to like click here, want the individual eyes, you like select which eyes. Like again, if your camera is on the left, but also depends you mirror your camera or not, but still if your camera is on your left, you should use left. If your camera is on your right, you should use eye opening right, because they will scan like that particular eye. That way you can link your eye much more easier. So yeah, let's move along from the eye. And then like I say, I'm going to if you guys already like understand how the perimeter work, and yeah, if you guys want a much more lively movement, especially when some of the VTuber, they're going to start like doing lots of like singing or storytelling or this and that, yeah, their stuff, they need a lot more expressive like body language movement, something like this. You see my body is actually like moving very sensitively. I made my own model, so itself is already very sensitive. And if you use V bridges, it's going to be even more sensitive. But if you can't afford to use V bridges, you can just bump up your sensitivity. Not the input. The input already exists. Our body have very big movement. So you guys can see like the input, I'm just shifting my body left and right. Outside the camera boundary, even that is already like at like 30. So it depends on how close or how far away your camera is, but still you don't really have to like adjust anything on the input. When you have to adjust your sensitive, you actually have to adjust your output for this. So the more you adjust your output, left right, I already have like enough speed, so I don't really have to like show it to you guys how to use the left right. Let's go for the leaning rotations. Face lean rotations will be like change it to 50, and then this one change to -50. So the negative is like one of the left, positive is on the right. It really depends on again, now you can see like my head bobbing like left to right becomes quite snappy. If I change this to like 10, -10, you can see like my head movement become much more stiffer. So depends on how much sensitive that you want it to be. Then you can like bump up and down like the sensitivity. Remember to be in parallel. This is 30, this is going to be negative 30. Do not do like this 40 and then this like negative 15. Your head would like be in an angle unless that is your goal, or like this thing literally on 0, or like this one is like 80 something. You can see like my head is now crooked doing this. It's going to be very weird. So remember to keep things in parallel, okay? And okay, now the final things, and it's one of the most important things you guys have to learn about, is how to adjust. Just keep scrolling down and try to find this parameter, mouth form and mouth opening. Why it's very important is because when I'm opening this too, normally you guys would have input on mouth smile only, and then this one is input on mouth opening only. I want you guys to go to input and then search around. Just keep scrolling down, because usually you would be like on the mouth smile and mouth opening like this one. You guys would keep scrolling down to this particular part, mouth voice frequency plus mouth smile, and then the other one, mouth opening, will be voice volume plus mouth opening. Why I need you guys to do that is because I need you guys to make like a very much more accurate lip syncs that listen from your mic. How to do that? I can first turn off like my camera, but before that I still have some things to show first. If you guys notice, I do have like some parameter like improve the sensitivity of the mouth form. Usually you guys don't really have to look at the mouth form because my personal preference, I decided to go for that. But as for mouth opening, here's the thing. If I switch this to 1, just rely on mouth opening, you guys would see the change of how my lips move. And camera is not 100% potency unless you're using Android phone. Maybe Android phone would have like a little bit no, unless you use like iPhone. Yes, iPhone have a slightly much more like accurate like facial tracking. But if you're using Android phone or just camera to look at your face, see like the lips movement is a little bit much more like not opening always. In order to like change that, it's best to actually change it to the golden ratio of 2.7 or 2.8. This way you can see now my mouth would be much more snappy, you know, opening up like immediately and close it immediately, almost like an actual mouth. And this way is much more better. Some people actually use this on tree that make the mouth even more snappier, but I don't really need it to be tree because I'm using V-bridges. V-bridges already have like a pretty good mouth tracking. It's like a pseudo, if you don't have an iPhone using Android, V-bridges is like a pseudo like iPhone for you. But yeah. And then you already can see like my mouth movement is much more improved after this. Once I select this volume plus opening, let me turn off my camera, and you guys would see like a very obvious movement, like stopped. Okay, now my mouth, my camera is off, but you still can see like my mouth is opening, and e, u, e, see, it does all those kind of thing like lips like cadence like matching. So this way can improve your mouth's lip syncing even more. And how to do this? If you just scroll down to here, keep scrolling it down until you go to the microphone setting. Yes, if I turn off the microphone, see, it doesn't work anymore. But if I turn it on and select the microphone I need, it's best sometimes if you feel a little bit buggy, you can do the reload. Depends on how loud your mic is, you can go for like 100% or like 200%. This is like, you can see like the voice volume here actually is the direct input going into your lips. So you can see I'm lowering my voice volume thingy. They now just moving a tiny bit. If I max this thing out, you can see how like snappy this thing is. And now you can see it go up really fast. And then depends on how much you want to do the cutoff. Cut off too much, see the cutoff too much and your lips is just snapping. So you don't really have to have like too much of cutoff. For me, I would want my lips to have a much more smoothness to it. So I barely have I only have like tiny bit of cutoff. The more cutoff you have, the more snappy the open and closed mouth is going to be. I'm just going for this. And as for frequency gain, it's going to be some things that might confuse some of the people, like the phenomenon config thingy. Is you can see it's in the middle. If I smile, it's going to here. If I sat and make the sad face, it's going to be here. See? It change depends on your frequency of your voice. And how to do this is to know how this thing works and how your lips is going to work. Of course, you have to do a lot of like testing to actually do this. Imagine I just do this everything on monotone. Yeah, everything is black. It would just keep, see, everything I do, they would just always keep in the middle. Because if I go A, E, O, A, O, usually O is another. A, E, A, O. You guys kind of like can sense it. See this thing like going on. If I do any like pronunciation on A, E, I, O, U, O. So you guys can already see like the things is here. For I don't really have to make my mouth to do any shape because usually the volume for R is just by default. I don't really need to change anything when I use R. But for E, then if I use E, it doesn't really match up that well. So if I go for the negative, E, this is U. So you can see it doesn't form properly. If I go E but my lips is going U, then you guys would know like there's an issues. So go back to E, see? And then if I go to U, since I didn't do anything, so let's go to negative. U, see? And then this one, of course, is still the E sound, so it's going to a higher pitch one. And then this one is for the O. O. So with this, now you actually got like a proper lip syncing. Usually you keep the other on like this part. You don't really have to do too much things unless some people actually use this like on the O side. But for me, I like it on the black side. And generally, people like keep it in like the neutral side. Black is neutral, plus is going to the right, negative is going to the left. So depends on how you guys going to like change your lip syncs. It's going to like help a lot. And there's also lip sync type. That one is going to be much more difficult. Do not touch that thing yet, unless you're really good at this, because this thing is like hyper advanced stuff. If I go for the advanced lip sync thingy, try not to touch it, because the moment you click this thing for the advanced lip sync, everything you see in here is going to be like go a little bit wacky to the point that you kind of like can't understand. So try not to touch that thing. If you really want to touch that thing, I would give you another tutorial for that. Don't touch it at the moment, okay? But now you guys can kind of like already know like how general things work. If you see like I go for E, A, you can see like the frequency, they kind of like it's the same. So I can drop the frequency like this. If I go for E, they would have a slightly better difference. So if I just fine tune it, E, O, O, see? All you need to do is just a little bit fine tuning and then everything is done. And that shall be my tutorial. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, stay healthy, stay safe. Until next time, I will give you guys some other tutorial off again. Bye-bye.